This conference will now be recorded.
All right, let's begin now. So right now the plan is to write the custom code. Right now the plan is to write the custom code. So custom code we will split into three parts or three scenarios. So the question is how to write the custom code. To write the custom code, let's divide the scenarios or let's divide into three scenarios. The first scenario is UI already given, SAP Commerce Code already given, database is already given. So UI already given means what? Let's say I go to my account order history. So I will go to order details. You can see this UI is already given. Then SAP Commerce Code already given. So that means this entire facade layer, service layer, DO layer, all converter, populator, all those things are given. Then database is given. If everything is given, then what's the scenario? Create a new attribute, called discount, and if item is having any discount value, display here. That we have seen last week. So therefore the requirement is create new attribute or database column, create new attribute or database column, and display its value in UI. So that is what we covered or discussed last week. So this is the scenario one. Then the scenario two is what? Scenario 2 is UI is given, SAP Commerce Code is given, database is given. So it's the same as this one only. Then the scenario is different. What is the scenario? The scenario is whatever code given, whatever method given, whatever functionality given, which is not working as per the client requirement. Then how to override the code or methods? That is the second scenario. For example, so you can see, let me go to the saved cart. Okay, so I save the cart. So can you see this one please? I save the cart. When I save the cart, let's say I have given some description. When I saved the cart, let's say I have given some description. Now today I don't want it. If I don't want, then I made it as empty and click on save. So even I made it as empty, click on save, still old description is coming. Some company says this is not expected functionality. Some company says it's okay. If you ask SAP, SAP says this is what given. If your company, if your client don't want, go ahead and override that particular code. Go ahead and override that particular code. So you can see one more thing. So let's say if you modify, then no problem, it's coming. If you modify, no problem, it's coming. If you made it as empty, okay, still old value is coming. Some company says this is the problem, some company says no problem. But if you go and ask SAP why you have given like this, they will say no problem. If your company, if your client don't want this way, go ahead and override that particular method or class like that, they will tell. That's it. Nothing more than that. Okay, so that is the second scenario. So we will see the solution for this one tomorrow. We will see the solution for this tomorrow. Now the next scenario is UI code. Okay, UI no means not given. SAP Commerce. SAP Commerce means what? DAO. Okay, service layer, facade layer, converter, populator. Okay, controller. All these things not given. Okay, so converter, populator, all these things not given. Then database is also not given. So then what is the scenario? The scenario is how to do everything from scratch. How to do everything from scratch. So the scenario is how to do everything from scratch. So that means you need to create your own UI. Okay, you need to create your own UI, your own commerce, your own database like that. So therefore, create your own UI. Okay, write. Okay, so write. Okay, so your own SAP Commerce Code. When I say SAP Commerce Code, controller, populator, all these things. Then finally write your own database. Your own database. So this we will see today. Okay, so this we will see today. Now to understand this third scenario, how much powerful, to understand this third scenario, how much powerful, let's understand this one. Okay, so can you see this one please? I go to the my account and click on order history. I go to the my account, click on order history. Clicking on this order history, okay, clicking on the order history and hitting this URL, both are same. Clicking on the order history and hitting this URL, both are same or not?
Yes, Chenna.
Yes. Okay, so therefore, when I did like that, what happened? Let's understand. So what happened? Let's understand. So you are clicking on this URL. Okay, so when you click on the URL, the request is all the way going to the database. Okay, request is all the way going to the database. See the scenario, please. First understand everything, then writing the code is very easy. And whatever we are writing today, you can visualize how much big learning it is with this example. Okay, so therefore you are hitting this URL. When you hit the URL, what is happening? Okay, so when you hit the URL, what is happening? Okay, now see this one. So you are hitting the URL or you click on that my account order history. What is happening? When you hit this URL, a request is going to the database. A request is going to the database. Please spend the time here. A request is going to the database. Let's say database is SAP Commerce database, and it may be Oracle or whatever it may be. It may be HANA, whatever it may be, not a matter. So this is the database. In the database, we are trying to write the query. So let's say select star from so on to so on to. Here the query is what? Orders. Okay, select star from so on to so on to orders, order entries, whatever you call it as. For now it's a orders. And it is giving the order details. That details you are displaying here. Is that clear or anything else? That results you are displaying in the UI. Is that correct or anything else?
Yes, Chenna. That's correct.
Yes. So that means when you click on the My Account Orders or when you hit this URL, request is going to the database. In the database, you are trying to write a FSQ, flexible search queries on the orders. Okay. Okay. On the order table, then it is giving the results. Okay. It is giving the results. That results you are displaying here. Okay. That results you are displaying here. That's it. Next, let's take another scenario. So you are going to the My Account and click on Saved Cards. So you are going to the My Account, click on Saved Cards. Going to the My Account, click on Saved Cards and hitting the URL, both are same, right?
Yes, Chenna.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Then what exactly happening in this scenario? What exactly happening in this scenario? It's the same again. Okay. So you are hitting this URL. Okay. You are hitting this URL. So therefore request is going to the database. So therefore request is going to the database. In the database, you are trying to write the query. So that query is what? Let's say database is Oracle. SAP Commerce database. Database can be anything here. It can be Oracle, it can be HANA, it can be HSQL, whatever it may be, not a matter. So here also you are writing. Okay, select star, so on to so on to. Okay, or select star from so on to so on to. Here it's a cart. Okay, cards. So then this is giving the results. That results you are displaying in the UI. Is that correct or anything else?
That's correct, Chenna.
That's it. Okay. So if you see this scenario, what are we trying to do? We are trying to hit the link. When you hit the link, request is going all the way to the database and you are trying to write a query. query can be on the order table or cart table or some other table, which is giving the result. That results you are taking and displaying in the UI. Now let's take one more scenario. Okay, so let's say I click on the address, my address. So what exactly happening? Going to the my account address, clicking on the address and hitting this URL, both are same. Now when you hit that URL, what exactly happening? Okay, so please understand this power of today's example. So you are hitting this URL. When you hit this URL, again what is happening? So you are going to the database, request is going to the database. Okay, so request is going to the database. In the database, you are trying to trigger the query. So query will be here with a address table. Okay, select star from so on to so on to and address table so on to so on to. That is giving the results. That results you are displaying here. Only UI is change and the overall scenario is same, right? Data is different, UI is different. Other than that, scenario is same. Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay.
Chairman.
So here here the data is what? Order data. Here data is what? Address data. Here data is what? Card data. So based on the data, UI is changed. That is different altogether. That's it. Now let's take some. So therefore, can I say all the my account is almost having same logic? All the my account functionality is almost having same logic. Yes or no?
Yes, Chairman.
Yes, Chenna.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. Okay, now let's take some more examples. So let's say you go here, click on the click on this one or search this one. So what exactly happening when you search like this, searching like this and hitting the URL like this, both are same. Then a request is going to the Solar. From the Solar, you are getting the results and displaying in the UI. That's it. From the Solar, you are getting the results and displaying in here. So that means, so here also if you observe here, see how easy to write the code now with this example. Okay, so what exactly happening? You are searching and hitting this URL, both are same. So when you search and hitting this URL, your request is going to the Solar because we know that the search results will come from the Solar. So let's say this is the Solar. Okay, so you can say SAP Commerce lightweight database called Solar. So therefore here also some queries will happen. Okay, some queries will happen which is giving the results. That results you are displaying here. So here data is different, UI is different, scenario is same. Scenario is same. Okay, now next one. So let's say you are clicking on this product. This is the product detail page. You are clicking on this product. This is the product detail page. And clicking on that product, hitting this URL, both are same. Do you agree?
Yes, Chairman.
Yes. /p/ product number. Okay, /p/ product number. Okay, /p/ product number. So that means you can see. So what exactly happening here? Tell me. So again, same here also. So you are trying to hit this URL or you are trying to click on that link. When you try to hit this URL, when you try to click that link, then request is going to the database. So here the table is what? A product table. Okay, so here table is what? Product table. So therefore SAP Commerce database. SAP Commerce database. So here, so you will be writing a select star something. Okay, so then here products and if required you will play with the categories and all. And finally it is giving the results. That results you are displaying here. That results you are displaying here. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Okay. Next. So I will go to the cart page. Okay. Again it's the same. No difference. what exactly you are doing here? So you are clicking on this, or you are hitting this URL. Both are same. When you do like this, what happened? Tell me. When you do like this, what exactly happened? So
You're going
request
to
is going to the
database
database.
and fetch the cards.
Yes, request is going to the database and getting the cart information. That cart information you are displaying in the UI. Are you doing anything new here? No. Everything is same. Only data is different. Okay. And UI is different. That's it. That's why I said this example is very powerful. This example is very powerful. Select star dash 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 from dash dash dash, and here it's a cards, and if you want to connect with some relations also you can do it, not a matter. So finally you are displaying here. Finally you are displaying here. That's it. Now look at here please. Okay, so this is what the scenario. So that means, so your cart page, your product page, all these things are same. Now let's look at here please. Scenario 1. So this is the scenario 1 I said. So what is the scenario 1? You are trying to go to the database and getting the orders and displaying. Scenario 2, you are trying to go to the database and getting the cards and displaying. No difference. Okay, no difference. Next is scenario 3. Scenario 3 is what? Okay, scenario 3 is what? So you are going to the database and getting the addresses and displaying. Getting the addresses and displaying. Scenario 4. Scenario 4 is what? You are going to the Solar database and getting the results and displaying here. Scenario 5. Scenario 5 is what? You are going to the database again, getting the product information and displaying here. Like this, the entire commerce code is same. Now, if I tell one example like this, do you agree that these are all you know? If I tell one example how to do these things, do you agree? These are all you know.
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes. Now, let me tell you one scenario. So the scenario is, so I will try to go to the my account, not, okay, and courses, COURSES. See, this is what the results. Okay, so this is what the results. Now, what I will do is that I will go on to create one more record. So this is the courses, right? So therefore types, okay, types courses. So these are the table. So there it is a card table, product table, order table, address table. Like that we have different tables. So here it is a courses table. Let me create one more course. Let's say $500. SAP Commerce Technical. Okay, duration let's say 50 hours. SAP Commerce Technical, and say done. So right now I have two records in the table. Come here, refresh it, two records. If you want to create, you can create one more. So let's say $500, SAP Commerce Spartacus. Okay, duration is let's say 50 hours. Okay, SAP Commerce Spartacus, and say done. Okay, click on refresh. So now we have three records in the courses table. Go here, refresh it, three records are coming. So now what exactly happening in this scenario? Tell me. What exactly happening in this scenario? Now you can tell.
Go to courses and let's say data from database.
So you
Display.
are hitting the URL. When you hit the URL, request is going to the database. From the database, you are hitting the courses table and displaying in the UI. Okay, so you are hitting this URL. When you hit the URL, request is going to the database. That's why I said this is a fantastic session where you will learn most of the things. Okay, so this is the, so you are hitting this URL. When you hit the URL, a request is going to the SAP Commerce database. So here you are trying to write a select command, flexible search query. So on. So from so on to so on to. So here it is a courses. Then this is giving the results. That results you are taking and displaying here. Now, if you understand this scenario, how the controller is given, how the facade is given, how the service layer given, okay, how the converter, populator, all these things, is it similar to scenario 1? Yes. Is it similar to scenario 2? Yes. Is it similar to scenario 3? Yes. Scenario 4? Yes. Scenario 5? Yes. Scenario 6? Yes. Now, do you understand the power of today's example? If yes, we'll see how to write this code from scratch. If you understand the power of today's example and relate this example with other scenarios, that is important. Relate this example with other scenarios, that is important. So if you understand that, then we'll see the code. Let me know if you have any questions in understanding the scenario and connecting the scenario with other places. That is very important. If you just understand this scenario, it is not that powerful. But whatever you are understanding, you need to correlate with these other scenarios. Then only this is excellent. Let me know if you have any questions in this.
Yes,
Any
we have
questions?
for cards we have a card page. For address we have a account page. For courses we don't have a course page, right?
That's what I said here. We will do everything from scratch here.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
I
that's
will
the
show from scratch. What
yeah.
happened?
No
So that's
questions.
why in Telugu there is a slogan. After listening everything, if you say what is Rama, what is Sita, our scenario itself is like that here. Our scenario itself, how to do everything from scratch. I want to show everything from scratch here.
Yeah.
Good now? So if I show
Yeah.
everything from scratch, now you need to correlate. Oh, okay, this is how they might have written the code for this. This is how they have written the code for this. This is how they have written the code for this. This is how they have written the code for this. This is how they might be written the code for this. This is how they might be written the code for this. Like this, you need to correlate. That is important. I am trying to tell you.
Yeah. Got it, John.
Very good. Very good. So if no questions, we will begin the coding here. It will take 1 hour to code it. Any questions?
No, John.
Okay, good. So if no questions, now tell me, so as I said, everything we want to do from scratch here. When I say everything we want to do from scratch, what does that mean? We want to create our own database. Database means a table. Okay, we want to write our own commerce code means a DAO, facade, converter, populator, okay, controller, all those things. Then we want to write our own UI, something like this. So to do everything from scratch, tell me what the first step shall we do? You can tell me what is the first step we can do.
Data modeling.
Okay, so always there is a two ways of coding here, top to bottom and bottom to top. Bottom to top means what? Database to UI. So bottom to top means what? Database to UI. Okay, so database to UI. Top to bottom means what? UI to database. Which is the best way? Top to bottom or bottom to top whenever you write the code. What is the best practice? Shall we go with the top to bottom approach or bottom to top approach? Whenever you write the code, shall we go with the top to bottom approach or bottom to top approach?
Bottom to top.
Okay, bottom to top is best one. So therefore, you need to start with the database and come to UI. Okay, so now tell me what is the first step we can do based on this diagram? You can tell me now because we already discussed so many things so far.
In our Chenna core items.xml, we need to add this new item type.
Yes, very good. So let's create a courses item type first because we need the table. So therefore, step number 1 is create courses item type. Step number 1 is create courses item type. So that means step number 1 is what? Step number 1 is what? Do the data modeling. Do the data modeling. So that is nothing but create courses item type. Courses item type is having what? Course code, course name, course duration, course amount. So, and where do we do this? We do this in the star storefront extension, which is nothing but ChennaReddyTraining training core extension. ChennaReddyTraining training core extension. You can go there and you can go to the items.xml file. You can go to the item.xml file and create this particular. Okay, so create this particular courses item type. Yeah, create this particular courses. What is the thing we have in the database? Okay, courses. Yeah, this one. So I want to create this. That's it.
Chenna, it's not
So you can see
extending
item
from
type
generic.
ChennaReddyTraining courses. Item type ChennaReddyTraining courses. Generate equal to true. This one. Then I'm just giving a table name called RRS training courses is the table name and type code. Then course code, course name, course duration, course amount. Course code,
Should
course name,
extend from
course duration, course
generic
amount.
type. Should extend from generic type, Chenna,
Why?
because we have defined a deployment table.
We defined it. We
Yeah.
defined here.
So that's why it should extend from generic type, right? Our item type.
That's okay. That's okay. We don't want. So you can see here courses model .java, courses model .java, which extends item model, abstract item model. So this item model is already having this information. You can see. So which is okay because you are getting the owner, PK, all those things. You're fine.
Okay. So we need to explicitly say extends item type, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, generic
Okay.
type. Okay.
So therefore the requirement one is what? Create the data modeling. That is nothing but create the courses item type. Okay. So which is nothing but this one we are doing. Which is nothing but this one we are doing. So that means I will just try to put the steps here. Please understand well. Okay. So this is the step number one. Create the data type, item type. That is what we have done. So create the database item type, which is nothing but the ChennaReddyTraining courses. ChennaReddyTraining courses, not the courses. ChennaReddyTraining courses, which is okay. It's just a name change. Don't need to think much. Okay, so that is what we created with the course code, course name, course duration, course amount. So we created with the course code, course name, course duration, and the course amount. That's what we have done. Nothing more than that. Then step number two is what? Do the build. So when you do the build, what happens? Okay, so when you do the build, what happens? With this name,
Model plus
model file
gem.
will be created. Very good. With this name, model file will be created. Sorry. With this name, what is this here? Okay, so with this name, model file will be created. And what is the purpose of this one? What is the
For
purpose of
DBM,
this model file?
for doing
Ah,
CO or COD
yeah,
operations.
very good, very good. So it's time for you guys to recollect everything here. Not only just for Ravi, it's time for you to recollect everything because we already discussed all these things. So therefore, purpose of this one is using this, we perform, okay, we perform the CORD operations. Very good. Using this, we perform the CORD operations. That's it. So that's why so step number two is do the build. After build, you can see this kind of model file got generated. This kind of model file got generated. You can see step number two, do the build. After build, this kind of model file got generated. This kind of model file got generated. Okay. Next, step number three. What is the step number three? Step number three is Okay, you can start the server and perform HAC update. Once once you perform HAC update, what happens? What are the results after HAC update?
Database tables and will
Yes.
be created.
So the results will be okay. So the results will be so in the database, this table get created. In database, table get created. So that means if you go here, you can see here, please. In the if you go to types, okay, types, you can see this got created. Okay, so this got created, and you can see. So there is a XML iteration. So here also you can see. Okay, so can you observe this one? Um, uh, Ravi, right? You can see internally
Yes,
it is
sir.
already extending generic item.
Okay. It's implicit. Okay.
Okay, so if you are not writing explicitly, it is already adding it. So you are fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here also you can see how exactly your item type is converted internally. Okay, now this is the best example for you, Ravi. Sometime you ask what happen if I am not writing that, this and all, right? Now you can see simple example. Okay, yeah. So you can see I did not write many modifiers here. I did not write many modifiers here. So how exactly it is considering, you can see. This is the
Yes, sir.
best way to understand how exactly internally it is. What are the values it is considered? Okay, you can see it is considering read equal to true, write equal to true, search equal to true, encrypted equal to false. So that means it is not a password field. So optional equal to false, removable. Okay, removable means later I can remove it. Initial equal to false, unique equal to false, private equal to false. So private equal to false means inheritance is possible. Part of. So there is one more thing called a part of here. So let me cover this part of also quickly. Okay, so let's understand the part of also quickly. So let's say in the database, okay, so I'm telling the database terminology. What is the database terminology? Let's say we have a employee table, or let's say there is a department table. Department table. So what are the departments? Okay, department code, department name. And the department code is, let's say, D101, and let's say computer science. D102, so let's say ECE. ECE. Like that, we have a department table. Then there is a employee table. So employee code, employee name, and their department code. So let's say 101, Chennai the employee, and part of B101. And 102, so let's say triple RS, and part of, let's say, D101 again. 103, let's say, ABC, and let's say D102. Like this, we have a employee table and a department table. And in the database, there is a statement called cascade delete. What is the meaning of cascade delete? Anyone remember? Cascade delete. There is a terminology called cascade delete. Anyone remember?
Yes,
So
sir.
we
Nice.
delete master record associated child records. Uh,
Ah, perfect, perfect. Thank you for answering. Okay, thank you for answering. You are right. Okay, so what it is telling is that if you see, okay, now, so let's say I want to delete this here. If I want to delete this, it is not possible because with this department, you have a records already. So it's like a child table, it's like a parent table. Its department is like a master table and the employees is like a child table. Okay, department is like a parent table and employee is like a child table. Now, if I want to delete this, it will not happen. And you get the error. What the error? Hey, with this department code, already employees are there. First, delete the child table records, then come and delete it. That is what the error you will get it. So that's why you will say cascade delete equal to true. Cascade delete equal to true means what? If I am deleting this, If any records are there here, delete those also. That's called a cascade delete equal to true. So by default, what happens? Listen this. If I delete this, you will get the error. What is the error you will get? Hey, with this department code, already there is a child table records. Go and delete those first and come and delete this. That is how you get the error. Now cascade delete equal to true means what? If I delete this, if any child table records are there, go ahead and delete those also. See, if a department is not there, what is the use of employees in the department? No use, right? If you are thinking that way, go ahead and delete this also. That's what the meaning. So same example in the SAP commerce is part of. If you are making part of equal to true means it's like a cascade delete. That's it. If you are making part of equal to true means cascade delete. Is that clear?
Question.
Everyone here. So this is what always Ravi used to ask. Okay, for Ravi's answer, here you can see everything, how it is considered internally. Even though if you are not writing generate equal to true, auto that this equal to true, that equal to true, but how it is internally considering, you can come and see the definition. On top of this, if you want to write your own meaning, again come back and change it. This is the best way to define or understand the final data modeling. Ravi, Raj, Vishnu, Sumit, everyone. I cannot see the names today, but you are clear, right?
What Chenna, what screen is this? Can you show me the left menu? Where are you on now?
Left menu. What is left menu?
No, no. What screen are you on now? Is it the item type or what screen is this?
Raj asking question. What happened to Raj?
No, no, no. I wanted to know where is this XML coming from?
I know. I got your question, but what happened? Okay, we discussed this many times.
No, no, many
Okay,
times, but I
okay,
forgot the place actually.
okay. So types, search for the types, system types, then look for your item type, courses. So right now, so my item type is what? ChennaReddyTraining courses. Select this, okay, then you can see the XML representation.
Oh,
Okay, so this is the best to understand. If you are thinking that, oh, I did not write this, I did not write this, what happened, and how internally system is considering when you are not writing something can be identified from here. For example, in the beginning of the session, okay, beginning of the session, Ravi mentioned that, hey, we need to write the extend equal to true. I mentioned even though you are not writing extend equal to true, correspondingly it is picking the models. So that means we are good like that, I told. But for readability purpose, you write it. For readability purpose, you write it. If you are not writing also, no problem. How this was internally, you can verify from here. That's it. Okay, that's how you can see here. Now the properties, you can see the properties. So we created, these are the 4 properties, right? You can also see this information. So what is the type? So that means as a functional consultant, you can come and check here. No need to go to the code as a functional consultant. So, oh, okay, amount is the integer, means I can enter only digits. Code is the string, that means I can also enter the characters. Like this, functional team can understand it. So read equal to true, write equal to true, all these things also you can see from here. And these are all the super type items. So that means what all you are getting from the parent. So these are all you are getting from the parent, PK, owner, all those things. Okay, that's it. So then common means what? It is just like in which extension this code is written. Okay, in which extension this code is written. Like that you have something. Extended means what? So what is the corresponding generate equal to generate code true is there, auto create true is there. Those are all the information. Administration, it's nothing. Any modifications is done, you can see here. Like that you can find the information and finally go here. So here by default you are not having any records. By default you will not have any records. You will not have any records. So this is the output of the third step. So third step is what? Go to or start the server, perform HAC update. So therefore once you perform the HAC update, So this table got created. This table got created. Is that clear? Once you perform the update, this table got created. Are you guys are there?
Yes, Chenna.
Once you perform the update, this table only table get created here. You need to be very clear. Only table get created like this. Now it's time to put the data in this. So step number 4 is you need to put the data in the table. Okay, put the data in table. So how to put the data in table? What is the mechanism we have? How to insert the data into the table? How to get the data in the table? I already answered. Okay, if
Impex
I want to insert the data, if I want to update the data, if I want to delete the data, in SAP Commerce, what do we have?
model or Impex.
Okay, Impex, very good, Impex. Okay, so now I want to write the Impex to create the data. So how do I write the Impex? You can see here quickly. So insert, okay, underscore update, insert underscore update. Anyway, we'll start understanding this Impexes from today's session onwards, but you can see here, insert means I am creating a record. So into what? Into this table or into this type, and this type is having what? Code, and the code unique equal to true, semicolon, then you have the name, semicolon, then you have the duration, semicolon, then you have the amount. Okay, so like this you have the columns. So you need to mention columns information. Then you can write the data. So let's say yes, course code. Course code means what? SAP Commerce. Okay, let's say functional. Then course name, SAP Commerce functional. Duration, let's say 50 hours. Amount, let's say $500. Okay, next SAP Commerce technical. SAP Commerce technical, 50 hours. Let's say $500. Next, SAP Commerce Spartacus. SAP Commerce Spartacus. Okay. So let's say 50 hours, $500. Like this, you can write the Impex. After writing the Impex, you need to execute the Impex. You can execute the Impex from HSE. You can execute the Impex from HSE. So we can go here, https:// localhost 9002, like that you can write it and hit enter. Okay, so once you hit the enter, you can go here and write admin 1 2 what is the password you have given, that password you can give here. So right now no records here. Now I'll go and execute the Impex so that records get created. Anyway, we have a 2 days session on the Impex. That time we will study it. It is giving the error. What is the error it is giving? There is a syntax problem. Missing inside. What is missing? At least one attribute to be declared as unique equal to true. We have written, right? Is there a spelling wrong? Unique, UNIQUE. UNIQUE. Spelling was wrong. So now execute here and see. Okay, so now it's good. It's executed. Now go here and see. So you got the records. So therefore, step number 4 is what here? What is the step number 4? Okay, put the data in the table, which is nothing but the Impex. So therefore, after step number 4, what are the results? What are the results after step number 4? Okay, so you are trying to insert the data. Once you insert the data, so you will have the data in the table. So this is the results after step number 4. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. Is that clear? Good. Okay, now I have the data also. So now I have the data also. Okay, next step number 5. What is the step number 5? Now we need to write the layers, right? So whenever we hit the URL like this, I need to go all the way to the database. From the database, you need to get the results. So therefore, how the flow? Okay, so how the flow? It will go to the UI. From the UI, it will go to the controller. From the controller, it will go to the facade layer. From the facade layer, it will go to the service layer. From the service layer, it will go to the DAO layer. That's where you write the flexible search queries. I told flexible search queries. Then this flexible search queries will give the results. That results you will return to the service layer. From the service layer, you will return to the facade layer. In the facade layer, you have converter and populator. Okay, so then from there you come to the controller again. From the controller, you will come to the UI and display. Okay, that's it. So therefore, now step number 5 is what? I need to write the query to get the data. So therefore, where can we write the query to write the data? Write the DO file. Write the DO file. Okay, next. So the question is, where can we write the DAOs? So you can write in the core extension, or if you have a specific extension, there also you can write it. But generally you can write in the core extension. You can see, let's say example, cart entry DAO. So you can see they have written the services extension. So if there is a services extension, you can write there, or you can write in the core extension also. So there are two possibilities here. You can write in the core extension, or if you have a services extension created, then you can write there also. But for now, I am writing in the core extension. So therefore, where can we write the DAO file? Okay, so write in the asterisk services extension or asterisk core extension. Asterisk services extension or asterisk core extension. That's it. Then how do I write it? It's a very simple, straightforward. You can go to the core extension. Okay, so you can go to the core extension. So please remember this here. After completion of everything, if you ask me to repeat it, it's very difficult. If you have any challenge in understanding, ask immediately. If you have challenge in understanding, ask immediately. After completion of everything, if you ask me to repeat, it's very difficult. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So therefore, now we want to write the DAO. So how do I write the DAO? Okay, so you can go, where can we write it? I told. How do I write it? Now I am telling you. So you can go to the source. You can go to the source and you can create your own package. You can create your own package. How do I create the package? You can right click on this. So new package. And you can ask a question here. What is the name? How do I give the name? So you can observe the existing one here. You can observe the existing one. Based on that only you can give the name. So existing one, if you see com.chennaRedTraining.core. Up to that, that is same. After that, you have the scenario. After that, you have the scenario. So therefore, you also follow the same. com.chennaRedTraining. Okay, chennaRedTraining.core. Then you are writing the what is your scenario? Courses dot, you can write it, you can give whatever you want, courses DAO like that. So you can see here, so this is what the package I created, courses DAO implementation. That is the package. Now in that you can create a file, Java file. In that you create a file, Java file. So let's say ChennaRedTraining courses DAO, like that you can create it. That is what I have done here. ChennaRedTraining courses DAO, like that. That is what I have done here. Okay, now I want to execute the flexible search query. So this is a normal file, right? You can see here, this is a normal Java file. This is the normal Java file. Now, in this file, what logic I want to write it? I want to execute the flexible search queries. To execute the flexible search queries, extend the abstract item DAO so that you get the flexible search queries behavior execution in the current class. You will get the flexible search queries execution behavior for the current class. So therefore, extend abstract item DAO. That is the first step you can do it. Now to execute the flexible search queries, we have three steps, right? What are the three steps? Can you recollect it? Step number one, write the query. Step number two, set the query parameters. I told already, you need to recollect it. Step number three, execute the
Flexible search.
FSQ. To execute the FSQ, what is the service we have?
Flexible
Flexible
search service.
search service. For the service we have flexible search service. With this you can do it. Now in the current scenario, I want to get all the records. If I want to get all the records, do I need the query parameters?
Not
Query
really.
parameters are nothing but where condition limits. Do I need to query parameters? We don't need. So you don't need to write it. So therefore step number one is write the query. So you can see, so left side is just a variable, right side you can see I am writing the query, and you can see here Ravi, right? You ask PK, right? That is, see, now I am just getting the PK only.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is a simple straightforward here. Select PK. PK will refer entire record here. PK refers entire record. So therefore select PK from what is the table or what is the type? Okay, courses, ChennaReddyTraining courses, right? ChennaReddyTraining courses. For that, I am giving the alias name, which is nothing but the C, alias name, which is nothing but C. So that's why I'm saying C.pk. C.pk means what is the C? ChennaReddyTraining courses. So ChennaReddyTraining courses PK, I want to get it. ChennaReddyTraining courses PK, I want to get it. That's what the meaning. So
So
this is the query.
why are we extending abstract item DAO? Is it
Just now I told, right? What happened? Who asked that question?
it's me, Ravi.
Just now I told what happened.
Sorry, I
Okay.
missed actually.
So let's say you are not writing this. Okay. Assume that you are not writing this. What is the error you are going to get is that only administrator can execute the queries. Like that you will get error. So that means to execute the flexible search queries, you need some behavior. You need some additional code. That additional code, I don't want to write it. So that's why we are extending to abstract item DAO, which will give the behavior to execute the flexible search queries in the current session or in the current class. That's why we are extending to abstract item DAO.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. So therefore, we have written the query. Once we write the query, now this query, we don't want to write any where condition because I want to get all the records. So that's why set of query parameters are not required. Second step is not required. Now I need to execute this. Okay, so now I need to execute this. How do I execute it? I'm just writing a method. I'm just writing one method. So get courses is the method I'm writing. So now to execute the flexible search queries, we have flexible search service dot search of query. You can pass the query. So this query will give all my records. This query will give all my records. So now these records you can hold in SAP Commerce. How? These records you can in SAP Commerce you can hold how? How do you hold the records in SAP Commerce? With the
Model
model
object.
objects. Very good. With the model objects. So therefore, now I have three records. That means how many objects are created?
A list of 3 model objects.
Yes, three objects will be created. So that's why I'm taking here left side. Okay, left side, ChennaReddyTraining courses models, which is a list. ChennaReddyTraining courses, which is a list. So that's why I'm returning the list here. So that means after DAO, what are the results? Okay, so after DAO, what are the results?
Model objects.
So list of the courses model objects. So that's why after DAO, okay, so after DAO you can see like this, you will get the list of the object 1, object 2 like that. Basically you will get the list of the model objects. So this is the after DAO, you can see you are getting the list of the model objects. So here model is what? ChennaReddyTraining courses. So that's why ChennaReddyTraining courses model object 1, object 2, object 3 like that you will get it. I think 50% is fine, right? Okay, so you
Yes.
can see after fifth one after DAO, so you are getting the list of the model objects which is holding the first record, second record and third record. So here you have course code, course name, course duration, course amount. That's good. So therefore, if I hit this method, then I will get the list of the courses model objects. Courses model objects. That's it. So that is how we have written the DAO file. That's how we have written the DAO file. Then you need to remember one point now. Note. So whenever we write, okay, so DAO file or facade file or service file or populator file or so on so on, except controller. Okay, except controller, even cron job file and so on so on. Whenever you write this kind of file, okay, whenever you write this kind of file, you need to let SAP Commerce know, about your file. Okay. You need to let SAP Commerce know about your file. That means you need to tell to SAP Commerce, hey, I have written a file, consider for execution. Hey, I have written a file, consider for execution like that. So this is possible when you define this as a bean. Okay, so this happens when you define these classes or when you define these classes as beans, bean IDs in asterisk spring.xml. Is that clear? This happens when you define these classes as bean IDs in asterisk spring.xml. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. So now, so this happens when you define these classes as bean IDs in spring.xml. So where is the spring.xml? You need, so right now I am in the core extension. In the core extension only there is a spring.xml. So you can go here and define this one. How do I define this? You can see here. Take the class name and the class name location. Take the class name and the class name location. Okay, so take the class name and the class name location. You can see here, please. So bean ID, you can give the class name only, but start with a small letter. Bean ID, you can give the class name only, start with the class small letter. Is it mandatory? It's not mandatory, but definitely best practice. And give the location of that file. Give the location of the file, and if it is having any parent, give the parent information also. If it is having any parent, give the parent information also. Are you guys are there?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. So give the parent so that because this is having the parent, right? It extends this one. So that parenting information also you can give it. That parenting information also you can give it. Now in this class, am I using any services? In this class, am I using any services?
Flexible search.
In this class, am I using any services?
Flexible set service you are using.
Flexible search.
A flexible service. That service, okay, that service you can inject as a property so that this service is available for your class. that service you can inject as a property so that this will be available for your class. Okay, so therefore you are telling, okay, you are using the flexible search query here because that is referenced here. So that means it will get the reference from here. So where is this? You can see the meaning here somewhere else. Like that, if at all you are using any services, that services you can reference here as a properties. That is how you can define the uh, class. That is how you can define the class, your class as a bean ID in the spring.xml. That's it. That is the step number 7. Step number 6. Okay, step number 6. That's it. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Else we are good and we'll continue. Okay, so that is the step number 6. Define this in the spring.xml.
Also, the file naming convention, we need to give the item type as a prefix, right, for all the files.
Item type as prefix means what?
For DAO service facade, we prefix with item type, right? Yeah.
I'm not sure what you are telling.
Item
Can you
type.
tell me
Sorry,
again?
type code. Chenna RRS course is
This is the
the.
location here. This is the location of the file. Here you can see the location. It's not a prefix something.
No, the
So
class
this
name I'm saying. Chenna RRS courses. That's the prefix you have given.
hmm,
That is a best practice. Are we following like for all services, facades, and controllers also?
what does it mean? I'm not getting you. Where is the prefix? ChennaReddyTraining courses. Okay, but ending the
Yes.
DAO I am using, right? That's it. So right now courses, which courses? ChennaReddyTraining courses. If it is a cart DAO, if it is a order DAO, yeah, we follow the best practice only. Ending with
Yeah,
a
yeah,
DAO
that's
is
okay.
important.
Okay, got
Ending
it.
with a DAO is important. So that's what I shown you already. Control Shift R. For cart purpose, you have a cart DAO. Okay, cart
Yeah,
entry
that's what.
DAO.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now it is
That's
what
the item type.
courses, right? Courses. And I said courses are nothing but ChennaReddyTraining. That's why I'm writing ChennaReddyTraining DAO.
Okay.
Okay, good. So that's it here. That's it about this one. Now, okay, that's about the DAO layer. Now my DAO layer is done. Okay, let's come here. My DAO layer is done, which is giving the list of the records from the database. Which is giving the list of the records from the database. This is returned to the service layer. This is returned to the service layer. You can see here. So it is returning the list of the records. So this I need to read into the service layer. So therefore now, so the next step is write the service layer. Next step is write the service layer. Write the service layer. Service layer is again a Java file. That's it. Okay. So therefore, how do I write the service layer? Where can I write it? So where can we write it? So let's say step number 7. You can write in the star core extension, or if you already have a specific extension created services, you can write there also. But I did not create any star services extension. That's why I will write in the core extension only. So therefore, in the core extension, you can see I created this package, courses services package. Then in that, I created a ChennaReddyTraining courses service. That is a Java file. Okay. Next, here what is the logic we need to write it. Here what is the logic you need to write it. First of all, from here, don't worry about all these things. These are not required. So from here, I need to call this method. From here, from service, can you see this one, please? Where is that? If you go here, you need to pay attention here. Okay, so from service, I need to call the DAO. Okay, from service layer, we need to call the DAO. So this is how it is. So we have a service layer. From here, you need to call the DAO layer. So that means to call the DAO methods, I need to inject this GAO. I need to inject this DAO. Okay, I need to inject the DAO as a property, as a resource here. Okay, so therefore at resource, okay, this particular class you need to inject as a property here. Okay, that's it. So that's the step number 1. So then with this reference you can call the method available in this class. So that's why you can see here we injected DAO as a property here. So with that property get courses. See, if I say get courses, it is going here. If I say get courses, it is going here. If I say get courses, it is going here. And this is getting all the records and returning to service layer. That's why service layer is also returning the same list of the courses model objects. So therefore, what is the output of the service layer? What is the output of the service layer?
List of
Yes,
courses model.
list of the model objects. You can see list of the model objects again. So therefore, service layer output is list of the model objects again. You can see list of the model objects again. List of the model objects again. That's it. Now we have a best practice. What is the best? Now we need to follow one thing, right? Whenever we write a DAO file, facade file, service file, populator file, what we need to do?
Define a bean.
Yeah, define this as a bean ID in the spring.xml. Now let me go and define it. So this is the service class I have written. Go to the spring.xml. Okay, define that as a bean ID. So you can see here. So I'm just using the same class name starting with a small letter and specify the location of it. Then in this, am I using any services? No, we are just calling the method of another class. That's why you don't need anything here. That's why you don't need anything here. Like this, we have written the service file. If you have any questions with the service file, you can go ahead and ask. Else, we'll continue the next. Quickly, please.
Generally, we use properties, right? Instead of at the rate resource, property injection.
Property injection also I shown you here, right? For this scenario. So let's say you are using flexible search service. So for flexible search service, so we have injected as a property in the spring.xml, right? That
Yes.
also I shown you. And if you
Any
want to know
specific reason why
when
you
to use
use
properties, okay, let me finish it. If you want to know when to use properties, when to use auto-wide, when to use at resources, all these things, then so there is a Spring class. This I used to cover earlier, but I am not covering nowadays because so there is a Spring class. So if you go here, I will share this material. You can go and see this Spring. This we used to cover 5 years back. Nowadays we are not covering because this one Spring. So here it is mentioned auto wide property, all those things, when to use, when to not use. Okay. So yeah, so you can see auto wiring, when to use, when to not use, at resources, properties, when to use, what is the example, what is the best practice, all these things are defined here. You can spend some time. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a Spring related, but yeah, for now I am covering all the possibilities. That's it. Go with the properties injection instead of AutoWire because AutoWire is not the best practice nowadays. So properties injection is a good one. Okay, all right. So that's how service layer is done. Now, once service layer is done, if you come to our diagram, so if you see here, can you see this one please? So this service layer is returning something to facade layer, or from facade layer we are calling the service layer. So therefore from facade layer we are calling the service layer. From the facade layer you are calling the service layer. So therefore next one is what? You need to write the facade layer so that it will call the service layer. That service layer is returning what?
Again, model, list of model.
Yes, list of the models. You need to understand now very clearly. So if you understand this step, facade layer step, that's it, you are done. So therefore, write the facade layer. So in the facade layer, you also have converters and you also have populators. In the facade layer, you also have converters, you also have populators. Now let's look at the facade layer. So where can I write the facade layer? See this one please, where can we write the facade layer?
Facade
I'm just
extension.
closing all these things. So to write the facade layer, you already have star facade extension, you can write it. You already have the star facade extension, you can write it. So therefore, go to the source. Okay, so create a package. Go to the source, create a package. You can see this is the package we created. And you can see I have written ChennaReddyTraining courses facade. ChennaReddyTraining courses facade. So here two steps are there, right? Okay, step number one is what? Okay, call the facade service layer, and the service layer returns a list of the model objects. Then step number two, so we have one rule, right? What is the rule? Okay, for database interaction, for database purpose, we have what? For database
Model
purpose, we have so asterisk model objects which are generated based on
items.xml
abstract
files.
item.xml. Similarly, now whatever data coming, you can see you are getting this data, right? This data you want to display in the UI. This data you want to display in the UI. So to display in the UI, for UI purpose, what do we have?
Data objects.
We have asterisk data objects. These are generated based on
Being
Yes.
asterisk facades hyphen
being
beans.xml. Asterisk facade beans.xml. So till now we have only model objects. Now we need to create the data objects also. Can you see this one please? We need to create the data objects also. Shall we create the data object first? Because anyway you are getting the results. Can you observe this one please? So you are getting this model objects. That means you are getting this data. This data you need to capture into data object. So right now we don't have data object. Shall we create the first data objects?
yes.
Yes, let's create the data objects first. Okay, so let's create the data objects or data classes. Okay, so right now what is the name we have? ChennaReddyTraining courses model. So then what would be the name of the data class? ChennaReddyTraining courses
Data.
data. And where can I do that? You can do in the facade extension only. In the facade extension, if you go to the resources, there is a asterisk facades beans.xml is there. In that beans.xml, so this is the code I am writing. Okay, bean class equal to ChennaReddyTraining courses data, then course code, course name, course duration, course amount. Course code, course name, course duration, course amount. So this is how we are writing the logic. Okay, so this is how we are writing the logic in the asterisk facade beans.xml. Now let's do the build. Now let's do the build. Build means and clean all. So after build, what are the results?
Model.
After
Data
build,
object.
what are the results? We will see data class
Data.
got created. Yes. Can you see this one, please? Control Shift R, data class got created, which is having course code, course name, course duration, course amount. Course code, course name, course duration, course amount. My data class is ready. That is what the diagram here. Can you see this one, please? So after this, you can see after the build, you can see the data class is ready. Data class is ready, which is having course code, course name, course duration, course amount. So therefore, after the build, my data class is also ready. Step number 9 is what? Write the data class. Step number 10 is do the build. So data class where you are writing? In the facades. Then after build, you are getting the model and data object also. You are getting the data object also. That's it. Okay, so that's what here you can see. This is a nice diagram. You are going to get it. So step number 1, step number 2, all these things, but I'm just trying to show you one by one. Okay, good. Now my data object is ready. Now I need to write the facade class. Okay, let's write the facade file. How do I write the facade file? Can you see this one, please? Can you see this one, please? Okay, so you can see here we created a package. This is the package we created. In that, ChennaReddyTraining courses. ChennaReddyTraining courses. Now, first step is what? From facade, I need to call the service. Okay, from facade layer, we need to call the service layer. To call the service layer, inject the service layer. Can you see this one, please? Inject the service layer as a resource. So this is the service layer that you need to inject. That you need to inject as a resource here. That you need to inject as a resource here. Can you guys pay attention? Can you guys pay attention? Okay, now that you need to inject as a resource here. Now I need to call the service layer. So therefore, with this variable, you can call the service layer. This service layer is calling the DAO layer. This is returning list of the model objects to the service layer. Service layer is also returning the list of the model objects to facade layer. So that's why output is list of the model objects. You can see the left side. Left side is list of the model objects. Is that clear so far?
Yes, Chenna.
Is that clear so far? Now the picture is coming into the. Now there is a nice thing you need to understand. So this is how we have written the facade layer. Now you need to understand this one, please. So this is how we have written the facade layer. So this is calling the service layer. Service layer is returning the list of the model objects. So that's why left side we have the model objects. But for UI purpose, we need what? For the UI purpose, what do we?
Data object.
Data
Data
objects.
objects.
Okay, for UI purpose, we need the data objects. For UI purpose, we need a asterisk data objects. So that means it's time to convert asterisk model objects into asterisk data objects. For converting, so we have
Convert.
converters. And the converter internally calls?
Populators.
Yes.
Star pop.
Converter internally calls the populator to populate the data. So now let's see how do we do this complete logic. Can you observe this one, please? So here, so these are the list of the model objects. I am passing model objects here. I am saying get So what is the general syntax I told you? Okay, if it is a order, get order converter. If it is a cart, get a cart converter. Okay, if it is a address, get address converter. But right now it is a courses, right? Get courses converter I am using. You can see get courses converter dot convert all. Why I am using convert all? Because we have more than one model object. We have three model objects, right? We have three records. Okay, so therefore get, okay, so get courses converter. If it is a cart, cart converter. If it is a order, order converter. If it is a address, address converter. So therefore get courses converter dot convert all of pass the model objects. And this should return what? This return type is what? Return type should be
Data object.
data objects. So that's why you can see here list of the data objects. You can see here list of the data objects. But the here question is, okay, how SAP Commerce knows what is the courses converter? You see, if you are telling that Channa converter, okay, Ravi converter, Vishnu converter, how SAP Commerce knows? We need to define the meaning for it, right? We need to define the meaning for it, yes or no? Are you guys are getting? See, if you say get cart converter, get courses converter, get cart converter, so there is a already coding available. So now get Channa converter I am writing. So if I say get converter, how SAP Commerce understand? Do I need to provide the meaning for it?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
B.
So where do we do all these things? Okay. So the first one is I need to provide the meaning for it. Then converter call the populator, right? Converter call the populator. Do I need to specify populator information?
Yes.
Yes. So do I need to specify the populator information? Yes. Where do we do all these things? You do in the asterisk spring.xml. Where do we do all these things? Now three things here. Now three things. Can we see this one? First thing is that I am writing the facade file. First thing that I am writing the facade file, you need to define it. Okay, define it. Then second thing is that I am saying courses converter, you need to define it. Third thing is that courses converter calls the populator. Populator information also you need to define it. So this also you need to define it. So if you define these three, then you are fine. Is that clear? Facade I am writing. I need to tell what the I need to tell to SAP Commerce I am writing the facade. Now courses converter I am writing. I need to tell to SAP Commerce I am writing what is the meaning of courses converter. Courses converter call the populator. I need to tell to SAP Commerce what the populator should call. These three things you need to tell to SAP Commerce. And how do we tell that? You can tell that through asterisk spring.xml. Is that clear?
Yes, Shan.
Okay, yes. Now I am showing the asterisk spring.xml logic. Asterisk spring.xml logic I am showing. So here only you can see asterisk spring.xml. So I'm just putting some spaces and all so that I can show you clearly this logic. If you understand this logic, that's it here, you are good. Okay. Now let me explain the logic what we have here. You need to pay attention please. Next 10 minutes it will take, next 10 minutes is important, you need to understand. So I'm going to take another 10 minutes here because we need to finish this today only. Okay, can you see this one please? First one. First one is what? You are writing the facade file. Define the facade meaning. So this is the facade. So I am defining this as a bean here. Okay, I am defining this as a bean here. just as similar we have done. So therefore bin and specify the location of this. Then in this, am I using any resources? In this facade file, am I using any resources? Yes, right? So we are using something called courses converter. We are using something called a courses converter, right? You can see here, where is the facade file? Yeah, this one. Courses converter we are using. So therefore, I injected it as a property. So this courses converter I am using injected as a property. But what is the courses converter property? I am asking to refer this one. What is this? You can see the meaning here. Are you guys are seeing the flow? So
Yes.
in this facade file, I am using the courses converter. What is the courses converter? I referred it as a property. And what is the meaning of this property? I am asking to refer here. What is this? I am defining as a parent for this is this one. So that means courses converter meaning I am asking to refer here. What is that reference? That reference is a bean which is having the parent called abstract operator converter. So this abstract operator converter is a OOTB one. You can see here this abstract operator converter is a OOTB one. What this will do? It will take the source. It will take the abstract operator converter. What it will do? It will take the source and target. Source is the data object. Target is the model. Source is the model object. Target is the data object. So this is the abstract populating converter. So what it is doing? Can you see this one, please? It is taking the source and target. Source is what? Model. Target is data. Can you guys pay attention?
Yes,
Source
sir.
is the model, target is the data. So it will take the, this is the OOTB file. I am making this OOTB behavior for my class. I am putting this OOTB behavior for my courses converter. So that means my courses converter will have this OOTB behavior. What is the OOTB behavior? It is taking the target and source. Source is the model, target is the data. And calling the populator, you can see. And calling the populator. So that means I am giving the meaning for the courses converter as this behavior. So I am making courses converter parent is abstract populating converter. Abstract populating converter will take the model object, data object, model object and data object and call the populator with that. And call the populator with that. So therefore, so this is the abstract populating converter. That is taking the source and target and calling the populator. And calling the populator. Now, do I need to specify what is my source, what is my target, and do I need to specify what is the populator?
Yes.
Do I need to specify what is my source, what is my target, and do I need to specify what is my populator? Answer is yes. So anyway, you can see when you are calling the converter, you already passed the model object. Now it's time to specify your target, which is nothing but your data object. Now you need to specify your target, which is nothing but the data object. And this is also calling the populator. That populator also you can specify. That populator also you can specify. That's it here. That's it. Either clear? Either clear? So therefore, you can see I am using the courses converter. SAP Commerce don't know what is the courses converter. So courses converter meaning I am saying refer here. What is that reference? That reference is having the parent called abstract populator converter, populating converter. What is the abstracting populator converter? So it's a OOTB file. What it will do? It will take model object, data object and call the populator. Now specify the what is your model object. So this one. What is your data object? Then this one. Then also specify the corresponding populator you need to call it. So this is the populator. Now did we write the populator? Did we write the populator? Chenna triple RS populator. Did we write it? No, we need to write it. So therefore, I go and write the populator here. So you can see, so ChennaRedDRS courses populator, which is taking the model object, which is taking the data object, and take from model object, put in the data object, take from model object, put in the data object, take from model object, put in the data object, take from model object, put in the data object. That's it. This is about the populator. Now, do I need to define this in the Spring.xml? Yes. Take
Yes.
this and write in the Spring.xml again. So you can see here, take this and write in the Spring.xml again. You can see. Okay. So you can see here. So ChennaRedDRS courses populator. So and this is the location of this. That's it. So this is how you can define the courses populator also. That's all you need to do. Nothing more than that. And so therefore this courses populator, okay, this courses populator is taking all the model object data, putting in the data object, and this abstract populator converter is calling that populator and returning the data object. Okay, so returning the data object. So that's why the return type of this one is a list of the data objects. List of the data objects. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why if you see our diagram, so you can see in the DAO file, okay, in the DAO file you are writing the facade. Okay, so then so you are writing the courses converter. For courses converter, you are telling what the parent. Abstract populating converter. Abstract populating converter is taking the source and target, data object and model object, and calling the populator. So that populator, can you see this one please? What is the populator is doing? It is taking the data from model object, putting in the data object, taking data from model object, putting in the data object, taking model data from model object, putting in the data object. That is what the output of the facade layer. That is what the output of the facade layer. So therefore, after the facade layer, what are the results? After the
List
facade
of
layer, what
data,
are the results?
list of courses data.
So the result of the facade layer is list of the data objects. Now you can take the data objects data, and display in the UI. So that's way. So now this is returning list of the data objects to what? For the controller. So therefore now write the controller logic. Write the controller logic. So that means controller calls the facade layer. Facade layer calls the service layer, and so on and so on. Service layer calls the DAO layer. Now I need to write the controller. So controllers, where do we write it? Controllers, where do we write it?
Storefront extension.
Yes, in the storefront extension. So therefore, I'll go to the star storefront extension. Star storefront extension. Go here, web, okay, SRC. Go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. Controllers, not web. You can see here itself, web SRC. So here you can write the controller. So you can follow and create one package. So if you see here, courses, where is that here? Courses, this one. So this is the package you created, and I'm creating this class. Okay, I'm creating this class. How to create the package? Right click new package. So you can create it. How to create the class? Right click new class. That's it. So you can do that. Now in this class, so now what is the thing I need to do in the controller? Two things I need to do in the controller, right? So from controller, call the facade layer. From the controller, call the facade layer. How do I do that? So I need to call the facade layer. So that means you need to inject the facade as a resource, right? So therefore, so this is the facade. Inject as a resource. You can see I injected as a resource. Okay, so therefore from here you are calling the facade layer. Facade layer is calling the service layer. Service layer is calling the DAO layer. Okay, DAO layer it is returning the list of the model objects to service layer. Service layer is also returning the list of the model objects to facade layer. So here we have written the converter logic to convert model object into data object, which is returning the list of the data objects. Which is returning the list of the data objects. So that's why left side is what? That's why left side is what? List of the data objects.
Updates.
Okay, then this one I am putting in a model variable. What is the advantage of putting in a model variable? What is the advantage of putting in a model variable?
Use it in the front end.
This will be available for the UI. Model attributes are available for the UI. Model attributes are available for the UI. Line number 38. I am putting these data objects into the model attribute. Those are available for UI. So you can see here. Okay. I am putting that data objects into the model attributes so that those are available for UI. Then what is the UI? So what is the UI? So
JSP.
that UI I am putting here. Can you see this one, please? So I am saying that UI is nothing but controller constants dot view dot page page. So that is nothing but this location. I'm telling that UI is nothing but this one. So pages accounts triple RS. Okay, pages pages account triple RS courses page. So where is that? You can see here. Okay, so web. Okay, web root, web INF. Okay, so web INF pages. Pages means where is that here? Views in the responsive pages. So in the pages, my account and I created this JSP. So can you see this one in the controller? I am okay. I got the model objects. I am putting model objects in this. Sorry, I am getting the data objects. Data objects I am putting in the model variable because model objects are available for UI. Which is the UI? I am telling this is the UI. What is that? This one. What is that? This one. So here I am taking. Can you see this one, please? So this is heading. So that means this colored one. So if I remove this, you can see you will not get that headings. Okay, that headings are gone. So that is nothing but headings. Okay, that is nothing but headings. Now in that you need to display this data, right? This data should come from where? Data objects. So that's why you can see I am writing a for loop because we have more than one record. And which is the data object? Can you see this one, please? This is the data object. Okay, so I'm taking one record. First record code name data, code name duration amount, then loop this one. Second record code name data duration amount. Third record code name duration amount. Like this we are writing the loop and finished it. That's why you are able to get all the records and displayed here. Then finally you need to ask one question. So whenever I hit the URL, how the controller is called? Whenever I hit the URL, how the controller is called? Controller is calling because you can see in the controller, can you see the request mapping? Can you see the controller request mapping?
Yes, channel.
So if you observe the controller request mapping, this is exactly matching the URL pattern. This is exactly matching with the URL pattern. Okay. So this is exactly matching with the URL pattern. Can you see this one, please? So here after English, my account, then courses. That means whenever I am hitting this URL, this is the controller called. From the controller, we are going to the facade layer. From the facade layer, we are going to the service layer. From the service layer, we are going to the DAO layer. DAO layer is returning the list of the model objects to service layer. Service layer is returning the list of the model objects to facade layer. Okay, now this list of the model objects are converted into data objects, and this facade layer is returning the list of the data objects to controller. Okay, so controller, where is the controller? This is the controller. Okay, in the controller, we are putting that list of the data objects into this model attribute because model attributes are available for UI. Now I am telling this the UI. So therefore it is going to that UI page and trying to display all the data, and you color it, you do whatever you want in this. You color it, you do whatever you want in this, and I have written the loop to display that. That's why we are getting these results. So this is how you can write your own controller, your own UI, your own facade, your own DAO, everything from scratch. That means, however you understand the logic for this, so that's why this is the best example to understand here. You can keep this diagram. Okay, step number 1, create the UI, do the build, okay, perform the update, insert the data, write the DAO, then write the service, write the facade, write the converter, write the populator, write the UI. This is the end-to-end diagram for our scenario. This is the end-to-end diagram for our scenario. That's it. That's all for today's session. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Else we are good for today. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, Chenna. So sometimes
how to write the controller, how to write the DAO layer, how to write the service layer, how to call the populator, where populator is called, what is the meaning of that courses converter, how do you define the meaning for it, all those things.
the UI, yeah, it's clear, Chenna. But for the UI page, if we want to make it CMSable, we follow some templates, right?
Correct. Okay, those are common things. You can take it from the how cart page is written, all those things from the that one. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, that's all for today. Let if any questions, go ahead and ask.